So I worked a commercial with Joe, guys. What the heck?
My hubby.
Yeah. So on that shoot, the first thing I noticed was I noticed that, oh, those are my people. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm like, oh, they look like my friends, it was the art department guys. Just like the way they rolled, like the way they dressed and spoke, it was very weird. I was like, you remind me of like Max and Josh, like two of my best friends. I took my time to kind of get to know them, like the people in art department. And I'm asking them like, hey, is art department fun? And so it's cool to hear what they had to say. One guy's like, yeah, dude, of course it's fun. Like, it's a great way to make money too. And I'm like, oh, well, how'd you get started? All the stuff that Janet teaches us. Another funny thing that happened was I spoke with the lead man. Is that what they're called in our department?
Yeah.
I spoke with the lead man on that shoot. And we're chatting and stuff. And it was funny, just like weird synchronicities, the things we had in common. He was like, oh yeah, like I used to listen to a lot of punk rock, but now I'm into hip hop. And I'm like, oh, me too, no way. And I'm like, I used to play in a punk band. And he's like, me too, dude. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I used to have a purple mohawk. And he's like, me too. And so we just we kept going back and forth like that. And just like other things, like he trains jujitsu also. So it was weird, all the similarities we had. But then I asked him, I'm like, oh, hey, like, do you know if there's anyone I should reach out to for non-union art department work? And he was like, oh yeah, like I actually have a shoot coming up this weekend. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm booked, but and then he's like, oh, it's all good. Just shoot me your info, your V card, and I'll keep you in mind for the next one. So like these, you know what I mean? These are the things that the seeds I'm planting while I'm here. I was on the commercial as a COVID PA, but I took the opportunity to start making these connections within the other departments. I was talking to one of the art department guys, one of the set dressers, and I asked him the same question: who should I reach out to about finding non-union work? And he was like, oh, talk to Greg. Greg sometimes does non-union work. And I'm like, all right, cool. So after the shoot, like 3 days after the shoot, I went on the call sheet, called Greg. And at this point, I already had a bit of a relationship established already, just because of little conversations we had. This is what happened on the phone call. Hey, Greg. Hey, Greg, this is Omar on the COVID PA on the Microsoft shoot last week. How's it going? Cool. Hey, is it a good time to talk? Chat for a second? Cool, dude. Yeah, I was talking to Lucas, and he mentioned that I should reach out to you about getting onto non-union art department work. So, yeah. So I'm still like pretty green as far as art department, but yeah, I'd love to know like if you have anything cool coming up that maybe I can try and get on the list or. Awesome. Cool, dude. That's great. Yeah, if you want, I can like send you my PA resume, or I don't know how it works for art. No. All right. Sweet, Greg. Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, you too. Have a good day. Yeah, so I'm gonna send him my contact info, and the same thing. Like he doesn't have any work right now, but he's gonna keep me in mind because he's already doing union stuff. But whenever he gets a non-union shoot his way, he's gonna send it to someone that's interested, which was gonna be like me. You know what I mean?
Yep. Planting seeds, guys. Planting seeds. And you know, another great thing is, Omar is a musician. That's really what his love is. But he also wants to just have a great life. He wants to travel the world and all these great things. And that's what makes him perfect for the film industry, because film industry is a gig-based business. So he can be taking time off and doing his traveling and his band stuff. He can go off and travel the world, come back, reach out to his connections, and work in the art department and make great money working with his friends. I mean, like, it's just win-win on all. That's why I got in the film industry. If you're this kind of person, then, you know, you're right for it. You're in the right place.
Yeah, it's so much better than a freaking 9 to 5 or when someone has to make your schedule for you. This is way better. One more thing about the commercial gig. Okay. So while I was working on the commercial gig, I was a COVID PA, but I also knew who does the hiring on that kind of stuff. So on the last day of the gig, I made my resume all nice and tidy. Had Janet review it before I gave it out. I did the little my little business card on the top corner and the laminate thing, the sheet protector. And so I go to the production supervisor assistant. I go to the first AD, who was and I'm talking to all of them, and I handed them my resume, and it was really cool. Like they were, especially like the second AD was really impressed that I brought a resume to set, which I feel like is a really good thing. And yeah, so I'm doing that. You know what I mean? It's all these things. So I went there with the intention of, first of all, doing a good job with what I was hired for, and like second, I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity to create these connections. So I spoke with the art department. I spoke with everybody, you know, just trying to be friendly with whoever I came in contact with. And then I made sure to make a good impression on the gatekeepers, the ones that hired. And yeah, that's what I did.
Sounds like you knocked it out of the park, planting seeds, and did a great job on set, and I'm so proud of you. Way to go! Celebrate! Woohoo!
Couldn't have done it without you.
Aw, that's so nice. Well, you did it.
So one thing that I want to let you guys know is that I got on the commercial gig without using Janet and Joe as my connection. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm doing this right here with you. I got the commercial gig because I have a friend who works COVID compliance, and while I was doing the 20 shoots method, and also while I started getting paid PA work, I was, you know, letting her know that I've been working around town and stuff, and then, you know, just like if we ever need an extra PA, like I'll let you know. And then she was like, oh yeah, like same here, like it'd be cool to work together. So that's what happened on this commercial gig. I had a COVID PA connection. I did not flex my connection with Janet and Joe per se. It just so happened, it was funny. I'll tell you guys the story because I know you'll appreciate it. I'm talking to Janet and I'm like, yo, like I got booked on a commercial as a COVID PA. And she's like, oh, no way. And she's like, well, tell me about it. Like, who's it for? And I'm like, oh, it's for Microsoft. It's with Tool. And she yells across the house. She's like, Joe, Omar's working the Microsoft gig with you. So that's how it happened.